Pro-democracy demonstrators in Myanmar show no signs of backing down amid the ongoing crackdown by security forces. Police fired tear gas and warning shots to disperse protesters who've been on the streets every day since the military seized power over a month ago. Demonstrations are taking place around the country and strikes are planned in at least one state. Diplomatic efforts to ease the crisis stalled on Tuesday as ASEAN countries failed to make a breakthrough in talks with Myanmar's military junta. Well, we're joined now by journalist A. Min Tant, who's in Yangon. Hi, A. Well, it's clear that protesting has become more dangerous. How has that actually affected the movement?
So the street protests are definitely getting more dangerous, and that means that there are fewer people out on the streets. So, earlier, just walking around, riding around town, the thought struck me that, there's parts of the city in Yangon that are very normal. People are at tea shops, people are out shopping, doing their business, and there are parts of the city that look like a war zone. And so we've really shifted away from what we saw in earlier protests of, kind of entire neighborhoods out in the street, people singing, walking, kind of just ambling, making speeches, things like that, into very concrete, distinct locations where there are barricades and standoffs with police, where sometimes you do see things like water cannons and tear gas and bullets being shot.
Right, well, we saw that in neighbouring countries, the ASEAN bloc, there was a call for restraint on Tuesday, but they failed to go actually any further. What does that mean for Myanmar's military junta?
I think the military is definitely looking at ASEAN as well as countries like China and Russia to see how far they can push what they're doing. Because Myanmar does do a lot of trade with neighboring countries, a lot of the country is agricultural and the country really relies on agricultural exports. They're really looking to see if neighboring countries will sanction them and cause them not to be able to continue running the economy and make money. And I think we saw something yesterday where the Myanmar military actually made an announcement telling security forces not to use live ammunition. And the Myanmar military has in the past essentially scapegoated individual soldiers or police as bad apples in order to say that, the leadership wasn't ordering this. This was something that people at the ground level were doing. And, it's always been this sort of cover for their actions.
Right, well, meanwhile, there's a row brewing in the United Nations in New York over the ambassador to the UN. Now, tell us more about that, A.
So currently there are two people vying for legitimate position as ambassador. There is the ambassador originally appointed by the NLD government, which, has not really been replaced yet, at least from the UN's perspective. The UN has not recognized a new government of Myanmar since the coup happened on the day that the new government was supposed to form after the 2020 election. And the junta has appointed a second ambassador. And so now the UN essentially has to decide which government of Myanmar they will legitimize and support.
All right, well, A. Min Tant in Yangon, thanks for that update.